Hello fellow gardeners, Joe here with a story that completely transformed the way I think about soil, gardening, and even the legacy we leave behind in our backyards. For years, I did everything by the book. I composted religiously, mulched my beds every season, and rotated my crops to keep pests and diseases at bay. My garden was healthy, sure, but I always felt like something was missing. The plants grew, but they didn't thrive the way I'd hoped. The soil seemed to lose its vitality faster than I could replenish it, and I wondered if there was a deeper secret to truly abundant, resilient soil. Then, almost by accident, I stumbled across a fascinating story about terra preta, this legendary jet-black soil found deep in the Amazon. For thousands of years, it's remained incredibly fertile, supporting lush growth in a place where most soils are thin and poor. I was captivated. What made this soil so special, and could I recreate that magic in my own backyard? The secret ingredient: biochar. Not just any charcoal, but a carefully crafted carbon-rich material made by indigenous people. Unlike regular ash, biochar is created through a special process that locks in carbon and creates a porous structure, perfect for holding nutrients and water. It's like giving your soil a permanent upgrade, a microscopic apartment complex for beneficial microbes. The idea that a simple, charcoal-like substance could permanently improve soil structure and fertility absolutely blew my mind. I started reading everything I could find, from scientific studies to ancient history, and the more I learned, the more excited I became. Could this be the missing piece I'd been searching for all these years? Unlike compost, which breaks down and needs to be added again and again, biochar stays in the soil for centuries. It acts as a framework, holding on to nutrients and moisture, and providing a home for the microbes that make soil truly alive. It's not just a quick boost, it's an investment in the long-term health of your garden, something that can benefit not just you, but future generations who tend the same patch of earth. I'll admit, I was skeptical at first. Could this ancient Amazonian secret really work in my North American backyard, with my climate and my soil? But curiosity got the better of me and I decided to give it a try. I sourced some biochar, learned how to charge it with nutrients, and carefully worked it into my garden beds. The results were nothing short of astonishing. Within a single season, I noticed my plants were greener, more vigorous, and more resilient to drought and disease. The soil felt richer, held water better, and seemed to come alive in a way I'd never seen before. It was such a dramatic change that I knew I had to share this discovery with other gardeners. Whether you're growing tomatoes in pots on a sunny patio, or tending a sprawling backyard plot, biochar isn't just another garden amendment, it's a complete shift in how we think about building healthy soil. It's about creating a living, breathing foundation that supports your plants year after year, no matter where you garden. Imagine building a legacy of fertility, one handful at a time. Every time you add biochar, you're not just feeding your plants for this season, you're creating a foundation that will support life for decades, maybe even centuries. It's a way to give back to the earth, and to future gardeners who will walk in your footsteps. Biochar isn't a quick fix. It's a foundation for a thriving, resilient garden. It weathers storms, holds strong through drought, and helps your plants reach their full potential, season after season. So, let me show you exactly how biochar transformed my soil, and how it can do the same for yours. Together, let's dig in and unlock the secrets to a garden that just keeps getting better, year after year. So, what is biochar? You might have heard the term tossed around in gardening circles, but what does it really mean, and why is it getting so much attention these days? First off, let's clear up a common misconception. Biochar is not the same as barbecue charcoal. While they might look similar, barbecue charcoal is often loaded with additives and chemicals that you definitely don't want in your garden soil. Never use that stuff in your garden. Instead, biochar is made by heating up organic materials, like wood chips, straw, or even nutshells, in a low-oxygen environment. This process is called pyrolysis, and it's a bit like slow roasting the material until all that's left is a stable, carbon-rich substance. The result is a lightweight black material with a honeycomb-like structure full of microscopic pores. These tiny spaces are what make biochar so special. Think of biochar as a permanent skeleton for your soil. Its porous structure provides endless nooks and crannies for beneficial microbes to thrive, and it acts as a reservoir, holding on to water and nutrients that plants need to grow strong and healthy. The source material used to make biochar really matters. Hardwoods, bamboo, or even agricultural waste like corn stalks can all be transformed into biochar. and each type brings its own unique properties to the finished product. Some biochars hold more water, while others are better at supporting soil microbes. When made specifically for gardens, biochar is pure, porous, and free from contaminants. It's carefully produced to ensure it's safe and effective for your plants. It's incredibly lightweight, almost like a sponge, and its structure is built to last for centuries in the soil, making it a long-term investment in your garden's health. Unlike compost, which is rich in nutrients but eventually breaks down and disappears, biochar sticks around. It acts as the infrastructure that supports all the living things in your soil, helping compost and fertilizers work even better. That's why biochar is considered a real game changer for soil health. It's not just a soil amendment, it's a foundation for a thriving, resilient garden ecosystem. Biochar's first superpower? Water retention. Its honeycomb structure acts like a sponge, soaking up water and slowly releasing it to plant roots. In drought or forgetful watering, this means less stress and more resilience for your plants. In heavy clay, biochar breaks up compaction, improving drainage and aeration. In sandy soils, it helps retain water and nutrients. The result: soil that's moist but not soggy, with better structure and root health. And because biochar doesn't break down, these benefits are permanent. You're literally building a better foundation for your garden, season after season. Biochar isn't a fertilizer, but it's the ultimate nutrient hotel. Its negatively charged surfaces attract and hold onto essential plant nutrients, preventing them from washing away. This boosts your soil's cation exchange capacity, making nutrients available when roots need them. Mix biochar with compost or organic fertilizer to charge it. Biochar captures nutrients and releases them slowly. This synergy means less fertilizer waste and more consistent plant feeding. The pores also shelter beneficial microbes, supercharging your soil's ecosystem. These microbes break down organic matter and make nutrients available to plants. With biochar, your soil becomes a thriving underground city. The result? Healthier plants, bigger harvests, and a living, breathing soil food web. That's the real magic. I decided to put biochar to the test in my own backyard, setting up a simple but telling experiment. I prepared 2 identical tomato beds side by side, each with the same soil, the same tomato variety, and the same amount of care. The only difference? One bed received a generous helping of biochar mixed into the soil, while the other was left as it was, serving as my control. Both beds got the same rich compost, equal sunlight, and a careful watering schedule. I wanted to make sure the only variable was the biochar. For the first few weeks, everything looked identical. The seedlings grew at the same pace, and there was no visible difference between the 2 beds. But as the summer sun grew stronger and the days got hotter, I started to notice something interesting. The biochar bed stayed moist longer after each watering, while the control bed dried out more quickly. The plants in the biochar bed looked noticeably less stressed during the hottest afternoons. Their leaves stayed perky and green, while the control bed's plants sometimes wilted in the midday heat. By mid-July, the difference was undeniable. The tomatoes in the biochar bed were taller, bushier, and had a more vibrant, healthy look. Their leaves were a deeper, richer green, and even my neighbors started to comment on how lush and vigorous those plants looked compared to the others. The biochar bed was thriving, and it was clear to anyone who walked by. But the real proof came at harvest time. The biochar bed produced more tomatoes, and the fruit was larger and more plentiful. I also noticed fewer issues like blossom end rot and other common tomato problems. The fruit from the biochar bed was consistently healthier, with fewer blemishes and a better overall yield. The overall plant health in the biochar bed was simply better. While the control bed still produced healthy tomatoes, it just couldn't keep up with the vigor and productivity of the biochar bed. That fall, I was so impressed by the results that I decided to amend every single garden bed with biochar. The transformation was too dramatic to ignore. Biochar didn't just give my tomatoes a boost, it completely changed the way my garden performed. If you're curious, I encourage you to try a side-by-side test in your own garden. You might be surprised at just how much of a difference a handful of this black gold can make. For me, it was a game changer, and it truly transformed my garden for the better. Ready to try biochar? It's easy. For new beds, mix biochar into the root zone, aim for 5 to 10% of your soil volume, blend it thoroughly with soil and compost before planting. For established beds, top dress with a half-inch layer of charged biochar, gently work it into the top few inches and mulch over it. Earthworms and microbes will pull it deeper over time. In containers, use about 10% biochar in your potting mix for better water retention and nutrient supply. The key, even distribution, so roots always find the benefits. Whether you're starting fresh or improving old beds, biochar fits right in. Simple, effective, and long-lasting. The golden rule: always charge your biochar before adding it to soil. Raw biochar will soak up nutrients and water, robbing your plants at first. To charge it, mix biochar into your compost pile or soak it in liquid fertilizer, compost tea, or worm castings for a week or two. Let it marinate until it's damp and nutrient-rich. No compost? Make a slurry with fish emulsion or seaweed extract. You can even use it as bedding in a chicken coop or worm bin. Biochar absorbs nutrients and microbes there too. Never add raw biochar to your garden. Charged biochar is a slow-release powerhouse for your plants. Prep it right, and your soil will thank you. Not all biochar is created equal. Buy only products labeled for horticultural use. Clean, pure, and free from contaminants. Check the feedstock. Look for sustainably sourced wood, bamboo, or plant material. Avoid anything made from construction debris or unknown sources. Look for lab-tested, certified products with high carbon content and low ash. Some biochars are pre-charged with nutrients and microbes, great for convenience. Quality matters. Invest in the best you can find for long-term soil health. Your garden deserves it. From ancient Amazonian secrets to your backyard, biochar is more than a product. It's a new way to think about soil. It builds lasting fertility, resilience, and a thriving underground ecosystem. For beginners, it makes gardening easier and more forgiving. For veterans, it unlocks new levels of plant health and yield. My challenge: try biochar in one bed or pot and see the difference for yourself. Observe the changes: water retention, plant vigor, harvest quality. Once you see the results, you'll be a believer. Share this knowledge, subscribe for more soil wisdom, and let's build healthier gardens together. The best time to start is now. Happy gardening.